Officials at the State Department tonight expressed concern for the life of Nationals catcher Wilson Ramos following his kidnapping in Venezuela. The Nationals catcher's box is where we normally see Wilson Ramos, but the catcher was at his home in Venezuela when 4 men kidnapped him at gunpoint. An orange SUV linked to the kidnapping found today. Police say it was stolen early Wednesday morning and set on fire before it was abandoned. This today from the Venezuelan Minister of Justice. A team of high-level specialists have been appointed to capture those responsible for this terrible crime.
No, because all of these kidnapping gangs are different, but there are so many of them. I'm sure that the Venezuelan government is going to do its utmost to get him back as quickly as possible, because this is a public relations disaster for them.
Dr. Eric Langer is the Director for Latin American Studies at Georgetown University. He explains kidnappings in Venezuela are frequent.
There are like 250, 300 just in one state where my wife is from, which is the westernmost state, one of the most populous ones, but they happen all the time.
The State Department spoke out about the incident today.
He's not a U.S. citizen. He is, I believe, a green card holder. It's obviously of great concern to us. We did cite in our country-specific information the very real dangers of kidnapping and violent crime in Venezuela. And we condemn these kinds of violent acts.
Wilson Ramos is 24 years old. He played for the Nationals last year. He was in Venezuela playing in the Winter League. This statement today from the Nationals. Our foremost concern is with Wilson Ramos and his family, and our thoughts are with them at this time. In Washington, Arlene Bornstein, News 4. We're here in the 1600 block of Addison Road South here in Capitol Heights, where police tell us just moments ago a man was shot in the apartment complex right behind me. Joining us now is Prince George's County Corporal Johnson. What can you tell us tonight?
When we responded, we found that the victim had already been transported to a local hospital. He was later pronounced dead there.
What did you find on the scene when you arrived?
Not much. We're still looking into every details, looking into every piece of evidence. We're still interviewing witnesses. But if anyone saw anything, heard anything suspicious, we're asking them to give us a call. They can remain anonymous by calling our Crime Solvers line at 1-866-411-TIPS.
Okay, and as far as the subject description, so we can maybe give the public an idea of who you might be looking for?
Right now, we don't have any description at this time. Hopefully that will come about after witnesses have been interviewed.
Okay. And again, we should have anyone who has any information to call Prince George's County Police. That's all we have for now, but as soon as we get any more details, we will pass them along to you. I'm Arlene Bornstein in Prince George's County, News 4. The world watched as 33 miners trapped under 700,000 tons of rock were rescued in Chile. Now, a year later, 2 of them are here in Washington to talk about the ordeal and what it took to survive 60 days underground. Fans and tourists are eager to take pictures with Luis Orzua and Esteban Rojas. The men were among the 33 miners rescued after being stuck inside a Chilean mine for 69 days last year. Now, there's an exhibit at the Museum of Natural History memorializing their underground ordeal. Ursua, the captain, was the last man to be rescued.
I think God kept us alive for a reason, and this experience is part of humanity because not only did Chileans see it, but the whole world saw it, and everyone wants to know something about our hope and how we thrived.
Against all odds, rescue at the Chilean mine brings to light the very dark circumstances the men endured. On display, this small pocket Bible, a pair of dusty work boots, tattered and worn, and likely the most recognizable item, the famous capsule that carried the men out of the mine and into the daylight. But what many visitors were truly surprised to see, 2 of the miners in person.
Amazing. We were walking yesterday and we saw the sign that we knew that the capsule was here, so we wanted to make a point of coming in here to see it, but we didn't expect to see the captain of the mining crew here.
The exhibit has this diagram of where the miners were when they were stuck underground. This is the San Jose mine in Chile. Now, to give you an idea how far below ground they were, the Washington Monument, 555 feet tall. It would take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them to get the distance from the top of the mine down. That's where the miners were. The small space also had very hot temperatures hovering around 100 degrees. Más te impactó. Rojas had 3 other family members in the mine with him. He proposed to his girlfriend right after being freed. Both men hope their experience will show the world in a dark place never stop searching for the light at the end of the tunnel. In Washington, Arlene Bornstein, News 4.
Welcome back. It's Friday, so let's talk about what's trending. We've got a lot of hot topics today. Bristol Palin weighing in on same-sex marriage. Also, a story about Little League and the Caps' lucky charm and that controversial Time magazine cover. Arlene Bornstein joins us now because it is Friday, and great to see you again.
Good to see you.
Let's start off with Bristol Palin on her blog, which is getting a lot of traction on the topic of same-sex marriage.
Bristol's blog is actually very popular because she touches on controversial topics. One of which was the post from yesterday was President Obama, his stance on same-sex marriage, and he came out saying, you know, I believe that what my daughters believe in same-sex marriage, and that's their friends have parents who are same-sex couples, and they wouldn't believe that they wouldn't have the same privileges as their parents. And so Bristol came out and said, this isn't right. How can you base your thought and stance on same-sex marriage, an institution, on your teenage daughters? And so not only did she kind of push back on President Obama, but she also had something to say about, you know, that's like basing your judgment on Glee. And this is all in her blog. So she's not making many friends, I would say.
There's been a lot of blowback on this.
Oh, yeah, and critics are saying, you know, well, Bristol, you are a single mother and you are not married. So kind of, you know, where are you and who are you to say anything about the way people raise their children?
Let's go to our play of the week, and this involves a Little Leaguer. Boy, he did something that is kind of hard to believe.
Oh my gosh. You know, I used to play softball as a kid, and I was terrible at it, and I still am. But this is so cute, and I bet there are talent scouts out there looking at this 6-year-old. So the video is a 6-year-old. He is shortstop. He pretends like the third baseman isn't even there. Someone hits a pop fly out into the field. He catches it. There's your out. Then he tags out the third baseman, and as he does that, there goes the second baseman trying to get on third base. It doesn't happen. There's your third out. Unbelievable. Wow. So cute, this kid. And watch out, MLB, because here he comes.
Yeah, and Bryce Harper, watch your back, too. We thought 19 was something.
Right,
this
right.
Is the kid.
A big talk in baseball right now, and then here comes this little leaguer taking all the attention, and it's the cutest video.
Well, for baseball, the hockey and the big Game 7 coming up tomorrow night, and something that may work in the Caps' favor.
Caps craze right now, and wouldn't you have it, probably the biggest game of Braden Holtby's life coming up, and a little baby boy born yesterday for him too. So we're thinking lucky charm. I think so. We hope so at Madison Square Garden. He's just 22 years old, gave birth to his first baby boy. Him and his fiance are super excited. We don't have a picture just yet, but we hopefully will soon.
You'll work on that.
I'm going to work on that.
And speaking of pictures, this picture, talk about the talk of the town and the country.
Gosh.
On Time magazine, and this is a mother breastfeeding her almost 4-year-old son, is that right?
Yes, the son is nearly 4 years old. You know, there's so much talk about this on so many levels, but Time is obviously genius because, look, we're talking about it now. It's all over Twitter. And so what's happening is there's a picture of this mother, and it says, are you mother enough? And her nearly 4-year-old child is breastfeeding. And it's a question of what type of parenting are you into? It's a question of why would Time put this picture on their cover? Is it because she's beautiful and blonde and she breastfeeds? What really does it come down to? It's very provocative. And so right now, you know, she went on the Today Show this morning, and it's funny because the mother on the cover says that some breastfeeding advocates are actually against this picture because it doesn't look like it's a nurturing thing. And so this is what she had to say this morning to Savannah on the Today Show.
And I understand some of the breastfeeding advocates are actually upset about this.
Are they? Why?
Because I feel like they don't show the nurturing side to attachment parenting, which is, you know, more, this isn't how we breastfeed at home, you know, it's more of a cradling, nurturing situation. And I understand what they're saying, but I do understand why Time chose this picture, you know, because it is going to be such a, you know, it did create such a media craze.
Quite a hot topic there.
Oh, yeah.
hot picture. Celebrities have commented on this. But, you know, what was really interesting is there was a Today Show poll, probably one of the most taken polls online on the Today Show. 73% of people said they didn't like it, and about 20-something people said, you know, it's cool. So, you know, that gives you an idea of what people are saying and thinking about it.
It was an attention grabber, safe to say.
Yes.
All right, Arlene, thanks so much. Have a great weekend.
You
We'll see you
too.
next
Thanks,
Friday.
Jim.
And that's going to do it for us on the Rundown. We thank you for having us in. For updates on your news, remember you can get the latest on News 4 live at 11 tonight on NBC4. And remember to always follow us on Twitter and Facebook. On Twitter, it's NBC Wash Nonstop, and on Facebook, it's NBC Washington Nonstop. Have a great weekend, everybody.